2015 UCI BMX World Championships are being held in Zolder, Belgium. BMX riders from all over the globe have arrived and are ready to compete for the world titles. For the past 50 years, the Zolder circuit has hosted all types of sporting events and is best known for its auto race circuit. But now it is famous as being home to one of the premier BMX tracks in all of Europe. After a week-long competition with 3,150 challenge class riders, it's time for the elite riders to race for the world titles. Thousands of fans have made the journey to Zolder and are here to witness this amazing BMX event. Let's give you the rider's perspective of the Zolder BMX circuit, the first outdoor worlds track in over 3 years, as we take a lap with our GoPro course preview.
Hi, we're here at the UCI BMX World Championships 2015 in Zolder, right here in the middle of the race circuit. We're from the German national team. I'm Louis Brettauer, this is Julian Schmidt and Liam Webster. We're here for the GoPro lap and we're going to just show you the track and you can see all the details of the track, so enjoy.
Time to shine.
So we're at the gate, just right before the gate drop.
Okay, riders, random start.
Just when the red light flashes, we go.
Riders ready, watch the gate.
First jump, pretty big step up, go over roller. Go into the first turn. First jump, second jump, they're pretty small, you gotta push down really hard. Third jump into the second turn, it's a tight turn. Jumping the gaps, you can manual down to the triple into the last turn. And then sprint again. Crossing the finish line.
My name's Liam Phillips, I'm from Great Britain and I race on number 65. I did my first World Championships in 1996 in Brighton. I would have been, I don't know, maybe 6 or 7 years old. And then I've actually raced every World Championships until 2011. I had a little break from the sport and did some track cycling for that season and then picked it back up in 2012 and have raced at every World Champ since. So yeah, every year for, I guess, almost 20 years with one break. I think, as with a lot of athletes, it certainly hasn't been one straight road. I think the injuries have certainly played their part in my career. I went 5 years where I didn't have a surgery-free season, and that, eventually caught up me, and that's why I took a break. My first World Championships was in my home country, and that was, I think at that age, sort of 6 or 7 years old, yeah, you know what's going on, you're at a big competition, but for me it was just get on the gate. As soon as the gate dropped, you just pedalled as fast as you could. For me, it was unbelievable. It was almost the best form of school that I could wish for. I was traveling all over the world, seeing different cultures, seeing how different children grew up, and you build friendships with these kids that you race side by side, and you want to beat them, of course, but they are friendships that last a long, long time. And I've got friends now that are very intelligent, but you put a passport in their hand and they wouldn't be able to get from one place to another, so it teaches you something very different. I think life skills, it's taught me a lot. There's not many sports that I know of where you can have a 5 or 6 year old kid race and then the dad races the same day or the day after. And for me, I travelled all over Europe and all over the world with my sister, who also raced, and then my parents. And without them it would be impossible to have, certainly to have travelled, but then also to have turned a hobby into what is now my full-time profession. I think that this track here is going to prove to be a great racetrack. It's going to be close, it's going to be compact, and yeah, you make one mistake and you can easily go from leading a race to being spat out the back. It's fast, and it'll be a good World Championship track. I would consider myself mentally strong enough to get the job done, I think. I do tend to thrive on that pressure. I enjoy racing in front of big crowds, and yeah, my confidence comes from knowing that I'm well prepared and I can go and get the job done.
The World Championships for the elite riders kicks off with the time trials. Riders take a preliminary lap, and the fastest 16 elites and quickest 8 juniors move on to the superfinal. Let's head back up to the gate as the riders will race against the clock for the fastest lap and try to claim the world title.
When you compete in a time trial, you have the whole track to yourself. If your start's not that great, it doesn't matter because you can make it up other places. And I think here at Zolder, the fastest person in time trial will be the person that makes the least amount of mistakes because of the technicality of the track. So yeah, it'll be really interesting.
If you make a mistake, it's on you. If you win, it's on you. And you know, in racing, it's like that most of the time, but there are times when things happen that are out of your control. So I view time trials as a great chance just to, you know, get the absolute best out of myself and see just how fast I can go from point A to point B.
I love time trials. It's just me against that track. So I just love choosing the song and doing a lap the fastest I can.
So things start off with the junior classes for their time trial runs. Each woman and man gets one lap around the track to prove who's the fastest and best around. And today, in the junior women's class, this woman right here from France, Axel Etienne, was by far the fastest rider out there. Her smooth style, flowing action down this third straightaway helped propel her to get the fastest time.
I love the track, the third lane, and I'm so tired. I'm so happy. My brother win in 17:24, so I'm very happy for him, and for me it's great.
And here are your official results for the junior women's time trial. Moving on to the junior men's time trial, it was Shane Rosa from Australia who set the track on fire and had the fastest time.
It was pretty unexpected, to be honest. Like, I had a decent run in my first time trial, and then that one just all came together pretty nicely, so stoked. Definitely the third and last straight, man. They're really deep doubles, so hopefully we can keep it together through race day. Never won one of these, and let alone time trial, so stoked. Hopefully we can back it up with the race tomorrow.
Moving on to the elite women's time trial, it was Sarah Walker who had the third fastest time of the day, coming back from injury. Next up, just off the mark in second place, it was USA's Elise Post who rode a flawless lap. Caroline Buchanan had an uncharacteristic run, and she was not able to get on that podium. Mariana Pajon from Colombia, the queen of BMX, today was the fastest woman in BMX as she took the world title.
I felt really good in the gate. Like, I was confident, super relaxed. I just said to myself, one more time, one more. I really like this track, and if you keep it consistent, then you're gonna have a good time, and I knew it. Yeah, I'm super happy, super proud. I did it again. I did it once, and I'm ready for tomorrow.
Next up, we move into the elite men's time trial where Joris Dode went out and set one of the fastest laps to date on the Zolder track, and riders would try to catch him. Next up was Liam Phillips, and he was unsuccessful to beat Joris's time. Last year's world champion in the time trial, Sam Willoughby, was also unable to best Joris's time. Nick Kimman was the last rider on course who's had a shot at the championship, but he was second overall, giving Joris Dode the time trial world championship.
I was surprised because I didn't do a perfect lap, but it was good enough, so I'm really happy. And then it's always good to win the time trial and showing that I was fast on the track today, so hopefully tomorrow will be the same thing. It feels amazing. I mean, world champion, it's amazing. It's hard to be on top, and it's hard to stay on top, so it's amazing to be here tonight, and hopefully I will be here tomorrow too.
Hi, my name is Sarah Walker. I'm 27 years old. I'm from New Zealand, and my career number is 96. I've raced every world champ since 2003, and I've actually won 11 UCI medals, which is pretty cool. My first UCI World Championships was in 2003, and I was 15 girls, so I started quite late in the age groups. But it was a great experience, and I finished second 7 times before I eventually won my first title. It's just an amazing thing to be able to ride my bike, something that I enjoy doing every day in New Zealand, all over the world, just having a great time and having fun, and yeah, you'll see me smiling a lot. It's because I'm having fun and enjoying what I'm doing. the last time I rode it. Once I roll onto the gate, it's just I'm setting my pedals up right, setting my body position, setting my wrists and rolling them forward, watching that red light, and then going. I was injured at the end of last season, and I broke both of my arms and had a head injury, and it's almost that moment where I was lying in bed back in New Zealand and I couldn't do anything. And I remember feeling probably for the first time like really how much I love BMX. I think the desire that came from injury was the desire to be sore from training, to go to the gym and just push it so hard that you're failing in the gym and you can't walk the next day, or going to the track and training so hard that you want to throw up at the end of the session or even halfway through the session. Like, those are the things that being injured, I couldn't wait to have that. I know that the training I've done since returning from injury is the best training I've ever done. And so I feel great on my bike, I feel comfortable, I feel strong, and like I'm really proud of myself for being able to do that after such a horrible injury.
It's race day, and unfortunately bad weather forces a change in the race format. During training and time trials, the weather was perfect, but today consists of rainstorms and huge gusts of wind. The race format is changed to single elimination qualifying, and the riders are now starting off the 5-meter hill instead of the 8-meter ramp. The riders know a world title is online and need to overcome these changes to race their way into BMX history.
Obviously it's affected everything. We've had to push the schedule up, condense the schedule, change the race format and everything. But I mean, we told our guys yesterday, be prepared for the worst. So, you know, we've got rain jackets. We told them that it's just, you just got to show up and deal with it. You know, we basically were as prepared as we could do. You know, it's BMX, you know, these guys race these kind of events week in, week out. You know, it does rain in the States too.
The rain, I mean, it's a thing, but we're from Holland, which is pretty close. I mean, it rains pretty often, so that was not a big deal. It was more the change of program, like, you know, hectic and not knowing when you had to race, which was a bit of a thing, but the rain was what it was, I guess, wet.
The riders get a warm-up and now begin competition with single elimination racing, with the top 4 in each race moving on. We begin with the quarterfinals for the elite women. Quarterfinal number 1 for the elite women is in the gate. We have a powerhouse of women here. Caroline Buchanan, Mariana Pajon, Magali Poitier, Mary Van Bentham.
Riders ready, watch the gate.
Looks like Caroline Buchanan gets a great start, but Mariana Pajon puts the power down that first straightaway, and she gets out to an early lead. Magali Poitier's in that 3rd spot, but right now Caroline is all over Mariana's rear wheel, looking for a place to pass, and this 2nd straightaway is one of those opportune places. But right now it looks like Mariana will carry that lead. Caroline gets up to her, and this 3rd straightaway could be a spot we see a change, and it looks like Caroline's going to go by on the inside. She's going to go neck and neck with Mariana, almost a slight bump there. They come out of the turn, and now Caroline has that lead. Mariana's in 2nd, Magali Poitier's in 3rd, Mary Van Bentham is in 4th, and those will be the transfers out of quarterfinal number 1 for the elite women. What a great race that was, and how close was it at the finish line? Let's just take a look, and right there you can see Caroline just edges out Mariana for the overall win. On to quarterfinal number 2 for the elite women. Elise Post, Simone Christensen, Felicia Stansel, Lauren Reynolds, Elke Van Hoop. What a powerhouse of women in this gate. Let's see who can transfer on into the semifinals. As the gate drops from the inside, Elise Post is really riding well today. Look at that early lead. She takes her teammate Felicia Stansel from the US of A along with her, but now it's going to be Simone Christensen who makes her way through there. And look at this battle now for that 4th place spot. Top 4 will move on. It looks like right now Elise Post has a commanding lead. Simone Christensen in that 2nd place spot, but look at all the jockeying going on for 4th. Right now, great battle. Lauren Reynolds gets edged out by Felicia Stansel, and Elke Van Hoef, the European champion, right now is looking outside. She's the hometown crowd favorite, and it looks like she's going to battle her way with Lauren Reynolds on that last straightaway. It's definitely going to be Elise Post, Christensen, Stansel, and Elke Van Hoef will definitely make her way into that semifinal. What a great comeback that was down the last straightaway. Another one packed with the world's fastest racers: Sarah Walker, Brooke Crane, Anita Holikova, Charlotte Green, and Amanda Carr. They go down the straightaway. Looks like Brooke Crane gets the early lead, but Sarah Walker fights her way out to the front going into turn number 1. Definitely a good run there for that third place spot. Natalia Sararova is fighting out with Charlotte Green, but right now it's Sarah Walker coming back from injury, having an impressive run out front of Brooke Crane. And again, look at this great battle for that third and fourth place spot. Right now, Anita Holikova from the Czech Republic's in third, and it's a battle between Charlotte Green and Amanda Carr for that fourth place spot. But as coming to the finish line, it's going to be Sarah Walker from New Zealand with the victory and the transfer spot, as well as Brooke Crane, Anita Holikova, and Charlotte Green. Definitely a great run from Sarah Walker, coming back from injury and now making her way into today's semifinal. Quarterfinal number 4 for the elite women: Stephanie Hernandez, Laura Smolders, Danny George, and again, power on the gate. As the gate drops, it looks like Danny George gets a great start, but Laura Smolders is right there beside her. Who will battle their way to the lead into turn 1? Right now it's Danny George. Laura Smolders is there. Stephanie Hernandez, look at her aggressive riding style down that second straightaway. She goes from 5th place to 3rd as the battle up front continues, and now Laura Smolders gets around Danny George. But look at Hernandez. She definitely wants more. She's in that 2nd place spot. It's a transfer spot, but look at her ride through these turns at full speed. Right now she swoops on the inside of Laura Smolders and she takes the lead. 5th to 1st, all the way down that last straightaway. Stephanie Hernandez, Laura Smolders, Dominic Gonzalez, and Danny George move on to the semifinal.
My name is Connor Fields. I am from Las Vegas, Nevada, 22 years old, and I race for the United States of America. This will be my 9th World Championships. The first World Championships I went to was 2005 in Paris. I was 12 years old, and it was a crazy experience. It was completely eye-opening. I'd never been to an event even close to anything like that back home in the United States. I was totally in shock when I was racing there, and after going to that one, I wanted to go every year. Yeah, being able to, be on every continent with the exception of Antarctica, for a bike race has been an amazing experience. And, making friends from all around the world and being able to, call a friend and say, hey, can I come stay at your house in another country for a week? And it's, yeah, no problem, come stay, we'll go ride the track. It's a totally unique aspect of BMX that I think is what makes it so great, is that it's a bond, it's a community of people that all have a passion for the same thing. I was blessed with parents that would have supported me, to the moon and back, no matter what sport or what activity I would have taken part in when I was younger. I happened to choose BMX, and my dad or mom would take me to practice. It was 30 minutes from the house, and they'd take me there 4 or 5 nights a week. My dad, would spend all of his extra money on taking me to bike races all around the United States growing up. My mom was always there to put Band-Aids on and clean my wounds after I'd have a crash, and be there to support when I was upset after a tough race. And it's just been a special experience with my mom and dad growing up, and that they were my biggest supporters, my biggest fans. My successes on the track are almost a way for me to give back to them. For me, when I reached the Olympic Games, it was almost something that I could give to my parents. They could now say that they raised an Olympic athlete. Those final moments when I'm in the gate, I'm thinking just deep breaths, relax, and then just try to go blank. And on the days where I perform at my best, those are the days where I've been able to enter that state of just blankness. Putting on a rainbow jersey is what gets me out of bed every morning and makes me go to work. That I can do it, like I have the ability to do it, and pushing that much harder to try and give myself another opportunity to get 1 or 2 of those jerseys.
The battle for the elite men's title quest starts here as they get loaded into the gate and ready for their quarterfinals. Quarterfinal number 1, Joris Daudet, yesterday's time trial world champion, already shows that power was no fluke as he gets out to an early lead. Harmsen from the Netherlands, Justin Posey in 3rd. Definitely a good race. Again, look at this great battle for that 4th place spot. But right now, Joris Daudet showing the fans the power that he had yesterday is going to be on all day again. Look at this. He's going to string it out ever so much, just over Harmsen. Justin poses in third, but look at the battle for fourth place Bruin. A little bit of bump and run. Garcia's on his way out on the outside. Can he come back? It's definitely going to be Daudet, Harmsen, Posey, and Garcia is your last qualifier out of quarterfinal number 1. Joris Daudet, great run for him. Moving on to quarterfinal number 2, it looks like the whole Dutch national team is in this race. Let's see who has the power of the squad. Coming down the start, it's the youngest one of those riders, Niek Kidman, who jumps out to an early lead with Jelle van Gorkum, Raymond van der Biezen, Twan van Gent, and Martin Jaspers in tow. But right now, Niek Kidman has a great little bit of a lead over the rest of his team, but they are going to battle to the finish. Top 5 are the Dutch riders. Definitely team manager Bosse Beaver's going nuts right now, cheering on his riders, but Niek Kidman's leading this pack all the way to the line. Jelle van Gorkum's in that second spot, Raymond van der Biezen's in third, and Twan van Gent will edge out Martin Jaspers for that fourth and final qualifying spot into today's semifinal. The fans eagerly await for quarterfinal number 3 because this one has one of the favorites, Connor Fields and Carlos Aquindo, as well as Trent Jones and David Herman. And right out of the gate, we lose one of the Latvians, but we don't lose the power from Connor Fields from the United States of America as he pulls out to an early lead in front of Carlos Aquindo. Trent Jones from New Zealand definitely having a good run, but look at that battle for that fourth place spot as they go into turn number 2. Connor Fields stretches his lead out, but look at the chaotic action in the back of the pack. But as we get to the third turn, Connor Fields will have that lead. Carlos Aquindo from Colombia is ahead of Trent Jones as they come to the finish line, and Dave Vanderberg from the Netherlands will be your fourth and final qualifier here in quarterfinal number 3. Quarterfinal number 4 has some of the biggest names and stars of BMX: Sam Willoughby, Liam Phillips, Anthony Dean, Quentin Clarion. Let's see who can move on to today's semifinal. The power should be coming from the inside as Sam Willoughby is in gate 1, but it's his teammate Anthony Dean and Liam Phillips battling it out for that first place spot into turn 1. It's going to be Phillips with an early lead, Dean in that second spot, David Graff in third, but look at current world champion Sam Willoughby stuck back in 6th. Coming down that third straightaway, Phillips, Dean, Graff, and Matthews in that fourth place spot, and Willoughby still in 5th, looking on the way in. Can he do it? Coming down that last straightaway, it'll be Phillips, Dean, Graff, and it's going to be a battle all the way to the line. Can Willoughby get Matthew as they cross the line? It's a photo finish, and it will be Willoughby who moves on.
I'm Mariana Pajon. I'm from Colombia. I'm 23 years old and I ride the 100. I've been racing the World Championships since I was 7-year-old. My first one was in France. I got third at my first World Championships, and then second year I won my first World Champion in Argentina. I grew up in a family of sports. My mother was she was riding horse for the national team. Then my dad was a car driver, professional car driver. And then my older brother, I started riding bikes, so the track ones, and he just wanted to race BMX. When I started BMX in Colombia, there were no girls riding, there were no girls racing, so I started racing against boys. I still race with boys in Colombia, so this really helped me a lot. So because I wanted to be like them, and I think that's the key now. Like, I want to ride like a boy, still being a girl, but I want to ride like them. When I started riding, my friends at school, they didn't understand because they were not into sports and they didn't have the goal to be any champion in any sport, so they didn't understand. Yeah, they were going to party. When I was in high school, I was on the track. That was my party, so I like it. Being a role model for my country is a huge responsibility now, and I just love it. I want to be me. I don't want people to know me as the gold medalist. I want people to know me as Mariana, and so to tell little kids that they can do anything they want if they really work for it, if they have a big dream and believe in that dream. Last year when they put me in my jersey again, I just love it. I love riding that rainbow jersey. I've been riding for a long time, even training, I just love riding with it. So it just gives me more power, I think, and it makes me confident, makes me know that I did it once, I can do it again.
It's crunch time for the elite women as we move on to the semifinals, where the top 4 from each race will advance. Semifinal number 1 for the elite women is loaded into the gate, and unfortunately the skies have opened up. The wind has picked up, and it's definitely going to throw the concentration off of these women, even though they are the best in BMX. Now they are getting ready for the top 4 to move on into today's main event. Who will be able to persevere? Let's see as we get ready for the gate call for semifinal number 1 here for the elite women. From the inside, the power is put down by number 68, Caroline Buchanan, and on that outside, we have Brooke Crane from the United States of America. Now Steffi Hernandez gets her way into that second place spot. Definitely a good battle out there, but right now Caroline Buchanan has a commanding lead. A little bit of a bobble there. Lets Hernandez and Crane catch up, but that 4th place spot now is up for grabs, but it looks like it's going to be a great run for the top 4, and it's Caroline Buchanan that leads them into that final turn. Brooke Crane in 2nd, Steffi Hernandez and Simone Christensen is in that 4th and final qualifying spot. As they come onto the line, there are your 4 qualifiers that move on to the main event. Buchanan, Crane, Hernandez, and Christensen move on to the main event. Definitely a strong run from those top 4 women, and let's take another look on how they powered their way down that wet first straightaway. Definitely from the inside, number 68, Buchanan had the lead. Semi-final number 2, Elise Post, Mariana Pajon, Felicia Stansel, Laura Smolders, Sarah Walker. Again, a tough race. And coming from the inside, we'll definitely see a great run from Elise Post. And then we have Mariana Pajon, that 2nd place spot, a little bit of a crash in that back part. But right now, it's going to be Elise Post, Mariana Pajon, Felicia Stansel battling it out, coming up into the front. Mariana Pajon has a definitely uncharacteristic bobble there, and she's in that 4th place spot. Laura Smolders has come back. She's in 5th, and it's going to be a battle. Right now, Elise Post is out front. Felicia Stansel in that 2nd place spot, and his 3rd and 4th, 5th is definitely going to be a battle. Coming into the last turn. Oh, no. Look at that. Laura Smolders takes an aggressive line, and she bumps with Mariana Pajon. Pajon's out. Post is in. Stansel's in. Holokova's in, and Smolders is in that 4th place spot. But if we see back there, Mariana Pajon, last year's world champion, is down and out. And unfortunately for them, as those rains came down, it looked like it affected Mariana's start ever so much. And then going into that last turn, this is the World Championships do or die in the semifinal. Laura Smolders took that open line that Mariana went high, Smolders went low, the lines collided, and unfortunately today for Pajon, she goes down. Yesterday's time trial world champion and last year's champion gets up though. She's able to recover, walk off the track. She's definitely disappointed, but she will be back to capture more titles in BMX.
My name is Sam Willoughby. I'm from Adelaide, Australia. I am 23 years of age and I'm the current elite men's world champion. This will be my 11th World Championships. Surprisingly, it doesn't feel like I've done that many. Mostly as I've done two as a junior, and then I think this is my 5th or 6th as an elite rider. My first experience at the World Championships was back in 2003 when it was in my home country in Australia, over in Perth, and I remember just going there just over the moon, excited to be at a World Championships. I've met a lot of great people, a lot of, my best friends are in BMX, and obviously my family's involved in BMX. I met my girlfriend through BMX, so there's, it's given me a lot of great experiences, and but obviously doing it for as long as I have and traveling the world as much as I have, racing as much as I have, and the commitments that come with it now, it's obviously still very enjoyable, but it requires a lot more balance now, and as I get older and older, it's trying to keep that balance. And since I've kind of worked on that the last couple of years, it brings back the excitement and the enjoyment every time I step on the gate. I've been very fortunate to have my family backed me in a big way from when I was right when I started the sport. They were right behind me, my brother and I. Like most families, traveled around the country by car and gave us every opportunity we could without, we weren't the kids with the coolest bikes out there or anything like that, but we always had the opportunity and were given an appreciation for, kind of what you put in is what you get out, and they're still a big part of the sport, and obviously still enjoy coming away to these races to watch myself compete. here we got the best of both worlds. You know, we've got an outdoor track that's bigger, it's going to allow for real racing. And the way that this is set up, you know, we're in the middle of an old F1 track and there's the woods around and the grandstands. It's almost made it like its own little coliseum or arena. So I think it's going to make for an awesome race, and the atmosphere here is going to be crazy. You know, Europe pumps it up. They get this music going and it feels like a club out there. Last year was obviously, it was a perfect weekend. You know, I won the time trial, won every lap, and won my second world title as an elite rider. So that was a huge weekend, and obviously to get there, it's gonna take the same things that last year took, and that was going through the process of the weekend and ticking things as we go, and see how the cards fall at the end of the weekend. But I'd back me if I was a gambler.
Things are now on the line for the elite men as they get loaded into the gate for their 2 semifinals. The top 4 riders will claim their spot in the championship main event for the day. Semifinal number 1, the who's who of BMX. Liam Phillips, Anthony Dean, Carlos Aquindo, Jelle van Gorkum, Dave Vandenberg, Justin Posey, Twan Von Gent, and Joris Dode are all lined up, ready in the gate for the gate to drop. The rains are coming down harder than ever, and let's see how these riders battle their way out for the top 4 spots. The first half of today's elite men's main event. Here we go with semifinal number 1.
Ready? Watch the game.
From the inside, it looks like it's going to be Dode, and oh my gosh, he goes down, and Phillips is the one now in the lead. On the outside, it's going to be Jelle van Gorkum. Definitely a good move, but Anthony Dean nuzzles his way into that second place spot. Carlos Aquindo in 3rd, and Jelle van Gorkum's in 4th. Posey's looking out, and he's looking on the way in. Can he do it? Right now, it's Liam Phillips with a commanding lead. Anthony Dean in that second place spot. Carlos Aquindo in 3rd, Jelle van Gorkum in 4th, and it looks like that's how it's going to final up here. Top 4 move on to today's main event, and that's definitely going to be Liam Phillips, Anthony Dean, Carlos Aquindo, and Jelle van Gorkum will be the first half of today's main event. As the elite men are loaded in the gate for semi-final number 2, it's the who's who of BMX. Nick Kidman, Sam Willoughby, David Graff, Raymond Vanderbiesen, Jared Garcia, Trent Jones, Connor Fields, and Joris Harmsen are your 8 riders making up of semi-final number 2. Top 4 will move on to today's championship main event. And just as they get loaded in the gate, the rains come down harder than they have all day. But let's get ready for the gate call.
Random start. Riders ready? Watch the game.
As the gate comes down, unfortunately, straight away, Connor Fields from the USA unclips, but Nick Kidman from the Netherlands shows his power as he gets into turn number 1 out in front of Sam Willoughby, David Graff in that 3rd place spot, and it looks like Raymond Vanderbiesen's in the 4th. But right now, it's all about Nick Kidman, that youngster out in front of Sam Willoughby, last year's world champion. He has a commanding lead going into the last turn, and it looks like it'll be Nick Kidman with the lead all the way to the line, right in front of Sam Willoughby, David Graff, and then Raymond Vanderbiesen will be your top 4. Jared Garcia just edged out, and a dejected Connor Fields in the back of the pack. But Nick Kidman, definitely a surprise of the day. And as you see right there, he was in lane 8. That's definitely the hardest gate to come from and get that lead. But he powered his way down that straightaway, coming out in front of some of the world's best riders, including number 1, Sam Willoughby. You see that crash in turn number 1. Connor Fields, he's already had that unclip down the straightaway. He's trying to make his way around, but no one was going to best Nick Kidman, as he was definitely the fastest rider in semifinal number 2. Last year's junior champion will now go for the elite men's championship as he makes his way into today's main event.
Hey, my name's Caroline Buchanan. I'm from Canberra, Australia. I'm 25 years old and my career number is 68. I started racing when I was 5 years old. My first World Championships was when I was 8 years old in Paris. Skipped a few world titles here and there that I didn't go to, but this will be my 10th World Championships. I wanted to go to my first World Championships when I was 9, and it was a little bit of a decider. At the time I was actually doing taekwondo and tennis and golf and a bunch of sports, and my parents said, would you prefer to get a black belt in taekwondo or race the World Championships in Paris? And for me it was a no-brainer. I wanted to take my little Teddy up the Eiffel Tower and go overseas, and off we jetted to Paris and haven't looked back. growing up, like I went to a sporting school as well, so a lot of my friends that I went to school with have now gone on to represent Australia in different Olympic sports. Obviously training at the Australian Institute of Sport as well, you're around a lot of the other athletes, so yeah, you know, we definitely all follow each other's journey, and it's nice to have other athletes that know what it's like to be on the road pretty much 24/7 living out of a suitcase, and they're really supportive. It is a big track. It's one, the whole start ramp is concrete, the transition at the bottom of the hill is concrete, the lip of the first jump's concrete. It's a fast track, so the speeds that we hit coming into that first turn and all the turns basically it's quite fast. The girls, they're tough ones. We may all come across like super bubbly and nice, but behind those goggles, once they go on, it's a whole different ball game. And the women, you know, they're fierce, and we've seen a lot of crashes lately as well. You know, they're not afraid to sort of take you out and fight for that whole shot and not back down. The women really don't back down anymore. It's pretty amazing that the event organiser has actually named the 3 corners after the 3 leading ladies. So the first turn is the Buchanan bend, named after myself. The second corner is the Olympic champion Mariana, so that's the Mariana Pajon corner. And then the last turn is Elise Post from America, so that's post turn. Just a little bit extra something that the event organisers have done to help support women in sport. To see the sport progress to actually be an Olympic Games that I would have never even dreamed our sport would be amongst, and now it is, and yeah, you know, I still get little giddy girl goosebumps, you know, just being a part of it all, and the progression, and you know, I definitely love it, and I love everything that comes with just riding a bike.
It's been a long journey, but now it's time for the fastest 8 riders in each category to put it all on the line and race the main event. The winner of each race will be crowned the 2015 UCI BMX World Champion and have the honor of wearing the rainbow jersey for the next year. Here we go, starting off with the Junior Women's Final. So the first world champion's about to be crowned, and it's going to be in the Junior Women's class. Axel Anteni, Alenda Thursman, Ruby Hussman, Kelsey Van Ogel, Svetlana Adminka, Lorraine Julant, Caro Vetsen, and Dort Bali are the 8 riders in the Junior Women's class. They get loaded in the gate, but definitely now it's time to concentrate. A World Championship title is on the line for one of these ladies, and it's there for the taking for any of them. Let's get ready for the gate start for the Junior Women's main event. From the inside, it's Axel Eteni, yesterday's Superfinal time trial winner. Look at that, a commanding lead going into turn number 1, and she has the Russian team behind her, Svetlana Adminka, and now it's Kelsey Van Ogel that moves into that 3rd place spot. But right now, Axel Eteni from France has a commanding lead, but we have a great battle for that last podium spot of today's main event. But right now, Axel Eteni is putting on a clinic in the Junior Women's main event. She has a great lead. It's definitely a great battle for that 3rd and final spot between Van Ogel and Thurskana from Russia. Who's going to get it? We know Axel Eteni's going to take the championship. Adminka gets 2nd, and Kelsey Van Ogel will make her way into that 3rd and final podium spot. But it was all about Axel Eteni, and look at that. She had a smile on her face going into turn number 1, and you would too if you had such a commanding lead of your first Junior Women's main event final on your way to your 2nd World Championship in the same weekend. And like we said, there was a great battle in that 3rd place spot. Kelsey Van Ogel battled it all the way down the line, and she was able to edge it out, but the fans definitely erupted for Eteni from France. 2 championships in 1 weekend, definitely a great accomplishment from this junior woman, and the fans just went crazy for her. Axel Eteni put on a great show for the crowd out here, and they show her appreciation. She's definitely one of the brightest stars that we should expect to see in the future in the elite women's class. But for today, she is crowned the newest world champion of BMX racing. So there you have it, the Junior Women's main event. Your top 3 overall, Axel Eteni, Svetlana Adminka, and Kelsey Van Ogel round out the podium for the Junior Women.
I'm very happy. I'm tired too, and I'm very, very happy.
The national anthem of France.
Now time for the junior men's chance to race for a world championship title. So here is your start list for the junior men's world championship final run. Brandon Tejico, Ezekiel Torres, Justin Kinman, Colin Hudson, Cody Metro, Corn Vanderwist, Mathis Riches, and Justin Kinman are the 8 riders loaded into the gate for today's junior men's world championship run. And again, the rains just keep coming down. It's consistent, and it's definitely going to throw some of these riders off. So as the gate drops for the junior men's main event, it looks like Colin Hudson from the United States of America and Brandon Tejico, they're out in front. And then we have Justin Kinman in that 3rd place spot, but now it's Torres, Ezekiel Torres from Argentina jumping into that 2nd place spot. But right now, Colin Hudson has a good lead, but Torres came out of nowhere, got around Tejico, and they're battling it out. It looks like Torres is pulling up on Hudson. Hudson has a good lead, but anything can happen here in BMX. A little bit of a bobble could cost the whole thing, but right now Hudson looks like he's going to win all the way to the line. Right there, a small bobble. That's all it took. Ezekiel Torres gets around him right at the line. Torres takes the title away from Hudson, and then Romain Racine also got around Tejico, but right now Ezekiel Torres cannot believe that was a great run. He just took the world championship right out of Colin Hudson's hands, and you see right here, Tejico was over his bars ever so slightly. That little mistake cost him that 2nd place spot, and Torres was able to get around as they come down. You see Hudson bobbles right there, and that's all it took. Ezekiel Torres took advantage of that, and you see across the line, it was decisive win for Ezekiel Torres of Argentina ahead of Colin Hudson, and Ramon Racine made his way around Brandon Tejico for that 3rd and final spot on the podium. So that's your junior men's final result for here at the World Championships. Let's get a word from today's winner, Ezekiel Torres. I'm so happy with the victory, I'm at a loss for words. I want to say thank you for all the people in Argentina, and I dedicate this victory to my family back in Argentina. Those were 2 exciting junior championship rounds, but now we are ready for the Elite Women's World Championship race. There's your start list: Elise Post, Caroline Buchanan, Brooke Crane, Steffi Hernandez, Simone Christensen, Felicia Stansel, Anita Halakova, and Laura Smulders. Those are your 8 riders in the main event. As the gate drops, it's all on the line for these women with the Elite Championship, and Elise Post gets a commanding lead out in front of Caroline Buchanan, and look at this good battle for 3rd place. But right now, it's going to be Elise Post looking smooth, but an aggressive run again from Steffi Hernandez. She's made her way around Caroline Buchanan, and look at that line into turn number 2. She takes the lead away, and Elise Post goes down, and Steffi Hernandez has a crazy lead out in front. Caroline Buchanan's in 2nd. There's a great battle for 3rd, but what a great run from Hernandez. She has that lead. If she gets to the line, she does. She is your new world champion, and she cannot believe it. Caroline Buchanan is 2nd, and at the line, it's going to be Simone Christensen. But right now, it's all about number 469, Steffi Hernandez from Venezuela, our new 2015 UCI BMX Elite Women's World Champion. She goes back out to thank the crowd. Their cheers help propel her around this track into the lead and on to eventual victory for her first World Championship title in BMX. It's been a long journey from the young woman from Venezuela, but today she put a stamp on her journey with the world title in BMX racing here in Zolder. Just look how excited she is to take that title. Lots of time and effort, and you can see right here, Elise Post had the lead. Caroline Buchanan's in 2nd, and you see Stephanie Hernandez right here. She's in 3rd place, bonks that jump, and you can see she almost went sideways, and that might have woken her up, because down the second straightaway, she opened up the power. She saw the opening that Elise left. Elise went high, Stephanie dove low, and unfortunately for Elise, she came into Stephanie's back wheel. That ended her quest for the championship, and you can see right here from another angle, Stephanie gave Elise plenty of room. Elise hit her. That small little mistake cost Elise Post a chance at the title, and right here, Stephanie Hernandez grabs the victory. The results for the Elite Women's World Championship race: Stephanie Hernandez in first, Caroline Buchanan finishes second, and Simone Christensen is in third.
I just give my everything. I give my 100%, and I was having problem with my gait, and my gait is like my strength. But in the final, I just looked for my space, and I really did a good lap, and I'm so happy and so happy with this victory. That feels awesome. I really need to say thank you to all the people that are here, and to my family. My mom is here, and some friends from Venezuela. And really thank you for your support, and my coach Thomas Alier, and every people in the UCI. We are a big family, and we're working together, and this is for me, this is for Venezuela, and this is for all the people that are around me.
This is it, fans. The riders are loading into the gate for the last main event of the day, what may be the biggest race of the 2015 BMX World Championships, the Elite Men's Final. So there is your start list for today's World Championship for the Elite Men. Nick Kidman, Anthony Dean, Liam Phillips, Sam Willoughby, David Graff, Raymond Vanderbiesen, Carlos Aquindo, and Jelle van Gorkum. Those are your 8 riders in today's main event. Here we go with the men's World Championship run here in Zolder.
Riders ready, watch the gate.
The gate slams down, and Sam Willoughby, #1, powers his way to the lead, but Nick Kidman from lane 8 is out there as well. But right now, last year's world champion, Sam Willoughby has a lead with Nick Kidman behind him and David Graff in third. They're battling down that second straightaway, but look at Graff. He's powering. He jumps to the inside. Willoughby leaves the door open. They tangle. Willoughby's off the track, but Kidman grabs the lead. Kidman's in front of Graff, and they're going into that last turn. Could it happen? Could last year's junior man take this year's Elite Men's Championship? And it looks like it will. Nick Kidman is going to be the new world champion. Oh my gosh. Jelle van Gorkum in second, and David Graff his third place. Just watch it again down that first straightaway. Sam Willoughby had the power, but from lane 8, the farthest gate out there, Nick Kidman put the power down into turn #1. Willoughby had the inside line, the where you want to be, but right here, Kidman's on the outside. Graff is aggressive, runs into Anthony Dean. His shot at a title is over, and those guys out front battle it. David Graff saw an opening. Sam Willoughby unfortunately goes off track, but that's the best of all opportunities for Nick Kidman. He jumps on the inside, jumps to his pedals, and you see right there, gets ahead of Graff ever so slightly, pedaling out of that turn, and gets down that third straightaway perfectly. And again, let's just see it. Graff jumps on that inside line. They bump, and unfortunately for last year's world champion, that's the end of his title run. But for Nick Kidman, he's gonna power out to the front. Can't believe it. Here he comes across the line. What a great run. Jelle van Gorkum, his Netherlands teammate, in second. David Graff in third, and the Dutch Army is so stoked for youngster Nick Kidman to take the Elite Men's World Championship here in Zolder at the 2015 UCI BMX World Championship. Nick Kidman is the first in the modern age era of UCI BMX to win the Junior Men's World title and then go on to win the Elite Men's World Championship the very next year. And there is your final results. Kidman, Van Gorkum, and Graff are on the podium. Kidman's your new world champion.
My first straight was good. Sam's first straight was a little better. Couldn't come around it in the second turn. I think David Graff came on the inside, just opened the spot for me, went for it, and from then I was like, no way. I'm leading World Champs final. crazy. I was talking with Bas, this winner, and he told me, like, I don't think there's ever been anyone who won Junior Man and won Elite Man the year after. And we were just joking, like, you have only one shot. And I was like, man, you're crazy. That's probably not gonna happen. And I think I need some time to let it sink in.
Wow, what an event. Despite the harsh weather conditions, it was a great race. And that's a wrap for the 2015 UCI BMX World Championships here in Zolder. A lot of drama unfolded in the main events, but in the end, the world's best riders have been crowned the new 2015 World Champions. Now it's time for the riders to start their preparations for the 2016 World Championships in Colombia. We hope to see you there, and thanks for joining the ride.